Hello and welcome. I'm Natalie Lawrence, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to format the footnote separator, as well as taking a look at how to format the footnote area at the bottom of a page in Microsoft Word. The reason I'm doing this video is because of what happened to me on a recent project of mine. I'd inserted in a footnote, started to write in the text, and I'd noticed that the gap between the text and the line above it was larger than I expected, and I actually wanted a more traditional look where there's very little space between the two. So I knew it wasn't an issue of the paragraph spacing in the footnote text because I'd checked the styles and I'd checked the formatting here and that was all fine. So that's what prompted me to look at whether you can format the footnote separator here. So in case this happens to you where there's an unexpected gap, I'm going to show you how to close it. Okay, so first of all, you need to have a footnote and have your cursor selected inside of it. The next thing to do is to go to the View ribbon. And then in Views, you need to click on either Outline or Draft if you're not in one of those views already. I'm going to click on Draft here. The next thing to do is to go to the References ribbon. And then in the Footnotes section, click on the Show Notes button. Now it's important to note here that in Print Layout View, which was the view I was originally in, the Show Notes button does appear, it isn't greyed out. However, if you click on it, nothing will happen at the bottom, so this pane won't appear. So this is why you have to be in Draft or Outline View in order to see this pane. Alright, so I'm going to go over to this drop-down menu here, and there's the second option, which is Footnote Separator. And here it is, there's this little black line here. I'm going to go over to the left and select all of it, and I can see that there looks like there's spacing. It looks similar to how a paragraph looks when you select it, and there's some paragraph after spacing there. So I'm going to go to the Home ribbon. In the paragraph section, I'm going to click on the little box in the corner, and here it is. So there's spacing, which is 0 for before, but it's 12 for after. So I need to change that to 0. Okay, so then I'm going to press the OK, and that's it. So the gap is closed there. When I close this down by clicking on this X, I'm going to go back to View and back to my original view of Print Layout and scroll down, and there it is. It's now in what I know it to be as a traditional format where there's very little space between the text and the line. So as you saw, there were actually 4 options in that Show Notes pane, and I looked into this further and there are more ways of formatting this area. So I'm going to go back into Draft View and into References and click on Show Notes again, and I'm going to walk you through all 4 different options here. So in all footnotes, what this does is it lists all the footnotes in numerical order in one area. So the advantage of this is if, for example, you have 20 footnotes, for example, and some of them have got book titles in them, and usually they appear in italics. Instead of having to go through the whole document and going through individually and making them italic, you could just go in and into this area here and see them all in one list and then make them italic like this. So you can actually do extra formatting in here as well. So this might make it easier for you if you've got some extra formatting that you need to do and you'd rather do it in one place as opposed to jump from page to page to page. I'm going to go back to the footnote separator now, and we've already looked at paragraph spacing, but there is actually more you can do here as well. So I'm going to select this area again, and you can see the shortcut menu has appeared. I can actually go to font color and click on a different color here like orange, and you can see it's changed color. So there's actually more you can do with this apart from changing color. You can also go to the Home ribbon, and text effects actually applies as well. So if you want to be really extravagant, you could add a shadow. And when you're done with all of this, you just click on the Reset button and you can return it back to black. Now you can actually change the size of this as well. So I'm going to go in here and you change the size via the Font Size button here. So you can make it size 8 and make it slightly smaller. You can make it size 24 or make it bigger, whichever size you want to pick. However, I just want to show you something. When I click on the Reset button, you can see it changes slightly, but there's still a gap up here. So just be aware of that. If you are going to change the size through the font size, you need to actually come in to the shortcut menu or in the Home ribbon and actually press on the default size again, because the reset button doesn't completely reset it. All right, on to the next one, which is the continuation separator. And again, you can format this in the same way as we've just seen with the footnote separator. You can change the color, you can add shadow, you can change the size. This continuation separator turns up when you've got a footnote that expands over 2 or more pages. Okay, so I'm going to reset that. And finally, on to footnote continuation notice. This is where you can write any text that's meant to appear, again, with footnotes that span over 2 or more pages. So something like continued from the previous page. You could write that in here, and just as you've seen with the separators and with all footnotes, you can actually format the text in this area as well. So you can make words italic, you can make whole paragraphs bold, you can change the sizing, all types of formatting you can do in this area. Okay, so that's it. So I hope that's expanded your formatting options for working with footnotes, and also got around any potential problems if, like me, you see an unexpected gap appear in the future. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it, and do subscribe because there'll be more videos coming out in the future. In the meantime, thank you again, and I hope to see you back soon.